why I'm making this video. I wanted to take a moment to speak a little more directly to you. This isn't to explain a system, break down news, or make any kind of prediction. It's simply to share how I personally think about XRP, why this channel exists in the first place, and what I'm actually trying to build here. This isn't coming from frustration or criticism. It's just context, and something I felt was worth saying out loud at least once. How I personally think about XRP is probably closer to how a lot of people start than they might expect. I originally got interested for the same reason most people do, because I believed the price could eventually go up, and at the time, it looked like a good investment. What changed over time wasn't that belief, but why I believed it. As I dug deeper, the constant focus on price started to feel like noise. What really held my attention was what was happening behind the scenes, how money actually moves, how liquidity works, and why global finance is structured the way it is. The more I learned, the more my curiosity shifted. I became less interested in headlines and short-term moves, and more interested in structure. Less focused on daily price action, and more focused on long-term mechanics. That shift in perspective is what ultimately shaped how I approach this space, and why this channel ended up taking the form it did. Why I avoid price predictions as a starting point. I want to explain this calmly and without judgment, because it often comes up. There's nothing wrong with talking about price. It just isn't where I like to begin. When price becomes the starting point, complex systems tend to get compressed into a single outcome. That's never been how my mind works. I'm more comfortable sitting with uncertainty, context, and process than anchoring everything to a number on a timeline. That doesn't mean I never think about price. It means that when I do, it's usually as a thought experiment grounded in real-world mechanics, not as a promise or a prediction. When I look at XRP, I don't start by asking, how high could it go? I start by asking, what changes if this actually works the way it's designed to? That question leads the thinking in a very different direction. Why I use an AI voice and abstract visuals. This part surprises some people, so I want to explain it simply. I made a deliberate choice to put most of my energy into research and narrative, rather than performance. For me, that means not worrying about cycling through dozens of tabs, reacting to posts, or trying to keep pace with social media noise. Once the work is done, I want to share it clearly and calmly. Using an AI voice and abstract visuals helps me do that. It keeps the focus on the ideas instead of on me, and it creates space for the story itself to breathe without distractions. For this channel, clarity matters more than presence. How my research actually works. Every video I make starts from the same place. I maintain long-running research documents that I've built up over years, not days or weeks. They act as a foundation for how I think, rather than a shortcut to conclusions. From there, I branch outward. I look for updates, confirmations, changes, and new puzzle pieces. And I try to think strategically, not emotionally, about why something matters and what it enables, even when it isn't being said explicitly. I'm not trying to be first, I'm trying to be coherent. And sometimes that simply means waiting until a story deserves more than a headline. Who this channel is really for. This channel won't be for everyone, and that's okay. Some people enjoy fast takes, constant predictions, or bold numbers, and there are plenty of places that do that well. What I'm hoping to build instead is a space for people who enjoy thinking a little slower, zooming out and connecting ideas over time. If you're someone who likes understanding how pieces fit together, even when the picture is still incomplete, then you're very welcome here. An open invitation. I didn't create this channel to speak at people. I created it to share how I think and to have thoughtful conversations with others who are curious about the same questions. If something resonates, I'd love to hear your perspective. If you see things differently, respectful discussion is always welcome. We all learn through our own process, through research, reflection, and open exchange. And that's ultimately what I hope this channel supports. If you've watched this far, thank you. Whether you decide this channel is for you or not, I genuinely appreciate the time and attention. And if you choose to stick around, I'm glad to have you along for the journey.